G'day guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Wildcard. Thank you for being here and watching my content. I really do appreciate it. The Super Rugby 2023 season has just kicked off. This was the second game of the week, of the season, of the overall season. And it was the New South Wales Waratahs versus the ACT Penalty Milkers. And yeah, the Penalty Milkers did manage to milk a few penalties and win this match. 31 points to 25 over the Waratahs. But I was actually pretty happy for the Waratahs because I thought the Penalty Milkers was just going to dominate the Waratahs, and some of the new players from the Waratahs really kind of showed up and, you know, made this much more competitive than I was expecting. I was really interested to see how Angus Bell was going to perform in this game, but to my surprise, the Brumbies actually found themselves a pretty good loose air prop, and I was just looking at him. I don't know this guy. This guy's new. Blake Shoop. He was doing a number on Archer Holes on the tight head side of the scrum. I was quite impressed. He popped out Archer quite a number of times and got. I think there was one penalty was like wrongly given to the Waratahs, but I'm pretty sure he got. I think to me he won 2 penalties for the Brumbies by popping out Archer Holes' head first from the scrum, just by going under him and just putting that pressure, putting the screw on. I do want to argue that he might be boring in a bit too blatantly. As if you want to go in on an angle, you need to go forward first. It did not look to me like the loose head side had gone forward sufficiently enough to go in on an angle to pop Archer's head out. But regardless, he was able to do so, albeit one time the penalty was given to the Waratahs. So yeah, I was actually a little bit impressed by that. Angus Bell, unfortunately, did suffer an injury. I was really keen to see him play more of the season. And it's a leg injury that he had been basically on the same leg that he had been that basically took him out of the season end of last year. So yeah, a little bit disappointing there because I do feel like Angus Bell is going to be that premier number 1 loser for the Wallabies. With that being said, the overall game, I thought the Waratahs probably lost because they were a little bit giving away too many penalties. Really allowed the Brumbies to chip away the scoreboard a little bit. The Penalty Milkers chip away the scoreboard a little bit too much. But overall, 3 tries apiece. And Jorgensen was quite impressive on his debut, 2 tries. And we'll have to talk about that in a second. Overall match stats, so 3 tries apiece. The Waratahs actually had more run meters. I do feel like the Waratahs in the last 20 minutes or so was not able to really get that polish to finish off the game. Otherwise, the Waratahs could have been in for for an upset this game. At least that was pretty close for them to almost run down the Brumbies in that last period of the game. And the Brumbies was basically just staying themselves afloat with penalty goals towards the end of the match, as they always do, as the Penalty Milkers, right? And yeah, overall meters, turnovers conceded, turn against the Waratahs, 15 against the Brumbies. The tackle count is quite even for both sides, 123 for the Waratahs, 129 for the Brumbies. 19 missed tackles and 21 missed tackles for both sides. So it wasn't too bad in terms of percentage, but you will want that to be a little bit lower for international test matches. Kicks in play, 15 for the Waratahs, 21 for the Penalty Milkers, and the scrum, the lineouts. I think both teams are a little bit rusty. The Waratahs clearly just had the lineouts did look a bit rough for both teams. 1 loss for the Waratahs, 2 loss for the Brumbies. In fact, the Waratahs lineouts looked a bit messy at times, even though they didn't quite technically lose the lineout. Scrum, like I said, there should be 2 scrum penalties to the Brumbies, but I did feel like the referee Nick Berry wrongly given one of the penalties to the Waratahs, as he felt the Brumbies hooker popped his head out first. But on TV, you can clearly see Archer Hole's head got popped out by the Brumbies loose hair prop first. But I think Nick Berry was standing on the other side of the scrum, so he didn't see that. But on the replay, it was very clear that the Waratahs got their head popped out first and should have been a penalty for the Brumbies. And penalty count overall, like I said, 14 penalties against Waratahs, 7 to the Brumbies. Really good discipline for the Brumbies. And that was pretty much in the end cost the Waratahs the game. Just the way too many penalties overall given away for the Brumbies, for the Penalty Milkers. So let's go through some of the key moments of the match. 6 minutes into the game, right? Tom Wright from the Penalty Milkers He's actually showed why he was the highest run meter player in the Wallabies team last year. Just spectacular footwork. He runs in, stiff arms a defender, steps sideways, steps another defender, just calmly runs into the final defender, draws him, passes the ball to Lockie Nolligan, followed him up for an easy try 6 minutes in the game. Like, this was just like a pure individual skill from Tom Wright. Gotta give credit where credit's due. And he sends that in for Lonergan, and he just looks so easy. Waratahs defense was looking a bit shaky right away already. 40 minutes into the game, the Jorgensen from the Waratahs gets his first try on debut. So Waratahs, like I said, the lineout was a bit iffy, kind of like overthrown. The ball just went loose. Waratahs recovered their own lineout throw, and the ball just kind of like I think it was Parecki, not Parecki. What's his name? Angus Bell crashed the ball. As he's getting tackled, just popped the ball out. And again, it's a bit of a mess. No one, it's a loose ball that just got scooped up. The ball just kind of popped over to Jorgensen. He had 3 defenders in front of him. He just ran straight through all 3 of them, straight under the sticks, try. The commentators were screaming, was kissing his ass about how good this guy is. Oh my God, he just ran through 3 Wallabies, including the captain. By the way, was not the Wallabies captain because Hooper is plays for the Waratahs side. He ran through Alan Alatoa, who was the captain, I think, for 1 of the games last year, maybe 2. But I'm pretty sure James Slipper was on the bench, who's officially the captain since the departure of Hooper. So he wasn't really the Wallabies captain. But yeah, the commentary was just trying to kiss this guy's ass, Jorgensen. So, oh my God, he ran through 3 Wallabies, including the Wallabies captain, to score that try. Wow, that was so amazing. Just cut it out, guys, cut it out. By the way, saying that he ran over the Wallabies captain for the try only makes the Wallabies look like dog water, right? Just have a think, okay? Have a think about what you say, running over the Wallabies captain. He was not the captain. He was in for the captaincy for 1 game. Does not make him the captain, okay? I'm talking about Alan Alatoa, which was a guy that Jorgensen ran through. But anyway, 20 minutes of the game, this was a really contested scrum where this is the scrum where I felt like Brumbies had dominated the scrum. The Brumbies was going forward, and the loose head prop, what's his name again, from the Brumbies? Blake Shoop. Blake popped out, holds his head, but because of the angle where Nick Berry was standing, he thought Connell's head was popped out first. I actually can't pronounce his last name. McInerney. So he thought McInerney's head was popped out first, and given the point, give the penalty, I thought wrongly to the Waratahs. And then 2 minutes later, the what's his name again? Blake Shoop redeems himself with another scrum. This time clearly popped out. Archer holds his head first and got the penalty, and he was pretty happy on replay. Looked like he was pretty pleased with himself. So yeah, 1 penalty for each side around the 20-minute mark. 35 minutes into the game. Again, this is why I call this ACT team penalty milkers. So Parecki was just basically out of play. He was just getting off the ground, going back to his side. What's his name? Lonergan. Is it Ryan Lonergan? I think it's Ryan. Ryan. His brother is Lockie. Ryan Lonergan gets the ball, just blatantly throws the ball at Parecki. But it was a forward throw as well. It wasn't just oh, he's on the way, I'm gonna throw at him. We've seen Gregan do this in the past, where someone was clear outside, throws the ball at him for a penalty. But he was literally threw a forward pass to hit Parecki, who was getting off the ground, just to try to milk the penalty. And it was really, really, really bad. The referee Nick Berry was like, yeah, you're just trying to milk the penalty there. I'm not gonna give it to you. And but anyway, they were playing advantage already. So the penalty milkers quickly took. I think Lonergan quickly took a tap. He crossfield kicks the ball to Andy Muirhead standing on the sideline, who was having a chat with the referee, thinking that the game had been stopped. Right? Muirhead was talking to what is his name? Jordan Way, the referee, touch judge on the sideline. And then Jordan Wade probably had to remind him, the ball is coming over towards you. And then Muirhead turns around, sees the ball bouncing in front of him, picks it up, runs in for a try. It was just one of the most funniest things. So the referee probably had an assist, right? The referee probably said, hey, the ball's coming at you. Pay attention. And Muirhead then turns around and sees the ball flying towards him, right? It was bizarre, but it happened. The Brumbies gets themselves a try just before halftime. So going to halftime, the score was 15 points to 3 to the Brumbies. So it's not by any stretch of form the Brumbies was the Waratahs were out of the lead. But second half starts, 5 minutes into the second half, Brumbies gets another 3 points on the board. A few minutes later, the Waratahs really started to chase the game. Just some really quick balls from the Waratahs, really looked good. Fast breakdown speed, and just got really close inside the Brumbies 22. The ball goes out to the left, quick hands, and then Jorgensen into the corner for the Waratahs. Oh yeah, before this, the Brumbies almost scored a try where one of the players, I think it was, who was it? Anyway, one of the players threw the ball back in field. His boot, literally, he had his toe tiptoed off the ground. Literally, the studs on his boot touched the line. They had to watch the replay, but yeah, literally his boots was like just the studs were touching the grass on the line. They called back a try there, but yeah, that was really, really close. Again, the commentary should not be so biased. The commentary was like, oh, such a beautiful try, I should have just given it to him. Just follow the rules, mate. Don't need to cry about spoiled milk. Yeah. Anyway, commentary needs to be improved a little bit there. I thought it was just sound a bit too biased towards the Brumbies there. But anyway, what's his name? Yeah, so Waratahs gets on the ball at 49 minutes. On the 57th minute for the Brumbies. Again, this was a nice little attack for the Brumbies. Little like Andy Muirhead did a nice little loop behind, little screen running, and then they just found themselves a lot of space to the right. Again, the ball goes out to the right. Tom Wright, quick hands to Toole, who runs in for the try. And this, again, Tom Wright has all the talent in the world. You can tell that he can see space. He was basically running a line and just basically blocked Nawangani Tawasi from touching Toole, getting like a beeline towards Toole. So he was technically blocking a little bit. But anyway, Nawangani Tawasi eventually kind of like shrugs him off, tries to make the tackle, couldn't get it, and Tools goes in. And you can see Tom Wright runs up and just blatantly shoves Nawangani Tawasi. Like, come on, dude. You're blocking him, and he shrugged you off, and you're gonna act like you're trying to, like, you're gonna start something. Like, come on, man. Like, yeah. So I was not very impressed by Tom Wright once again for doing little shenanigans like that. And again, after the try had been scored, he's trying to try to get a retaliation out of Nawangani Tawasi to get him sent off, I guess. But it was just really, really unsportsmanlike conduct, in my opinion. So finally, on the 60th minute, the Waratahs strikes back 3 minutes later, essentially. They just basically start running the ball just into, from inside their own half, making just over the Brumbies halfway line, and find themselves on space out wide. A nice little play, interchange between the Waratahs players, and finds Jay Gordon into the corner. Again, lightning fast reply for Waratahs. 60 minutes, still 20 minutes left. You think that the Waratahs could potentially, stay in there and try to get themselves back to potentially win the game, snatch the game in the final few minutes. But no, the game kind of just stalled out. The Brumbies just really, really played, the style that I really hated. Try to grind out the game, try to chip the game away with 3 points. So 74 minutes, Brumbies gets a penalty, kicks it out 3, put themselves a little bit further ahead. And then finally on the 80th minute, the Waratahs did miss this conversion on the 60th minute, which was really important. If the conversion had been successful, then the Waratahs could have drawn the game. Could have drawn the game if they had a try. But yeah, anyway, so the Waratahs finally working a bit overtime. The clock's red, gets a penalty right in front. They opted to kick for 3 for a losing bonus point. So yeah, it is what it is. The Brumbies defense was giving them a bit of trouble to try to, 20 minutes couldn't score a try or score any points. So I guess taking the 3 points for a bonus point, losing bonus point is is kind of like the smart thing to do here. It did leave a little bit of bad taste in my mouth for that, but I guess you got to do what you got to do to get yourself some points on the board. So overall score 25 points to 31. The penalty milkers. I do feel like the Brumbies could probably put more points on the board against the Waratahs. The Waratahs did look a bit sloppy at times. Both teams look sloppy at times. But yeah, let me know your thoughts, guys, if you watch this game, if you're interested in rugby in Australia. But anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Cheers.